Hi, boys and girls. Today we are continuing to write about the middle events of our story. And I want to encourage you to continue doing the show not tell that we talked about yesterday. And another thing that's going to help you to write the middle events and to really create the picture in your reader's mind are two things. So we are going to focus on descriptions and small actions. So if we look at the middle events, you can see that when I wrote the story, I put it in little pieces and I really thought about it first in my mind and thought about what happened. So the first thing you guys have to remember is that you have to know what's going on before you can tell anybody else. So really picture the story in your mind and think about what happened. What was the next thing that I did? And then what happened? And then what happened? So in small little pieces. So what we're going to do is I'm going to share with you a chart here, and this is using senses to paint a picture, and we're going to use these descriptions. So if you think about how do I figure out how to describe something, you're going to use your senses to describe it. So if let's say you have an item that you have to describe, and then you think about it. So if it were, let's just say it was your puppy, and are you going to taste your puppy? No. So we're not going to use taste on that one, but are you going to feel your puppy? Absolutely. So you're going to feel how soft it is. You might use a simile where you're comparing it to something else. I think in my story I said she looked as soft as cotton. Her fur was as soft as cotton. But you are going to use some descriptive words. What does it look like? When I was describing my puppy, I think I could describe a puppy as skinny or fat or fluffy or playful, because she looks playful too. And what does she smell like? Does she smell, there's a certain smell to puppy breath, and I don't know how to describe it, but if you can figure that one out, that would be a good one to put in there. So what does it smell like to you, and what does it sound like? So my kids that are in my class have heard my puppy barking, and she has a bark, 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 very light, a shrill kind of bark. So you could use some of the words of what it sounds like. So I want to encourage you guys are going to have access to this chart here. And so just keep kind of thinking about what are my senses telling me, and how can I describe this? The other thing I want to share with you guys today is to use descriptions and small actions to bring your writing alive. So I have two different examples here. This is the example without the small actions. He walked into the room, he found the book and started to read it. And this one is really very detailed about the small actions and descriptions of the room. So as he rounded the corner and saw the entrance to the room, he paused. So we're taking it little tiny chunks and we're stretching this moment out. At the far side of the room were large windows covered by sheer curtains. The view of the ocean was visible from there. He walked further into the room and heard the creaking of the wooden floor beneath his feet. It was an old house and he could smell the dust, and I kind of got stuck there. He glanced around the top of the dresser and desk and spied the book he was looking for. It sat among a pile of paperback books. Now this is stretching the moment out, and sometimes we don't write it all at once, and I'll show you that right here. Miss Carlson was writing it, and then look what happened. I kind of forgot that I was going to try to find another word of what it smelled like. And so I kind of got stuck, but I can always go back and revise it. So if I want another word and I'm not sure what it's going to be yet, I could just put those X's in there, or I could just leave a little space so that I know I want something else, but I'm not really sure yet. And then when I read it again and again, I'm going to remember, and I'll think of something else that I want to put in there. So you guys can use that too. So I really want to encourage you to do your best writing. Go back over it and read it a couple times. Make sure it's saying what you want it to say, and you're thinking about everything that happens in those middle events. So keep writing, guys. You're doing a great job, and we will see you later.